Number 5, the last thing that we need to fulfill Jesus' mission is I believe that we have to refocus our efforts and our pursuits to take the gospel to those that have not heard. Paul says it, as we've read it many times in verse 20, I make it my ambition to preach the gospel not where Christ was already named, so that I would not build on another man's foundation, but as it is written, they who had no news, they who have not been told will see. That's so cool. And they have not heard will understand. I'm going to speak to a couple different groups of people. There's probably 3 groups of people that are in here. Number 1, this group. There are some of you here that feel like, you know, James, I'm kind of riled up, I'm kind of excited about what you're talking about. That sounds cool and everything, but you're the special guy. I'm not like you. I'm not an evangelist. I'm not all that stuff. Kevin's not an evangelist. Jaquan's not an evangelist. My wife's not an evangelist. We just live this thing. We just love people. And so, as an invitation for you, the question that I have for you is this. Those of you that feel like, you know, I'm more in that father-child aspect of the relationship. I'm more in that moralistic therapeutic area, but I want to come over, but I don't know if I qualify or whatever you want to say it, if I can do it. Here's what I want to encourage you with. Ephesians 4 talks about the gift of the evangelist. This should liberate you. Only 10% of Christians across America feel like they have the gift of evangelism. That's right, 10%. 90% feel like they don't. A part of the reason I feel like that is the case is because of this. I might do, we'll see how this goes, but there's no gift of evangelism. Ephesians 4 talks about 5 different ministry gifts, or 4, however you count it. It just depends on where you are on that. Apostle, prophet, evangelist, pastor, teacher. And the purpose of these 5 is to equip the saints for the work of the ministry and bring them to the full stature of Jesus Christ that they may grow up in him in every way. 13 and 15 talk about that. So, the evangelist is not this ethereal thing that kind of comes, plops, and hits you in the Holy Spirit and, hey, I can get people saved. It's not like that. It's not like the other 9 gifts that are mentioned in 1 Corinthians 12. This gift is not the gift of evangelism, it is the gift of the evangelist. It is a person. The apostle's a person. The pastor's a person. And as God has given these people to the body, the church, we're to grow up in him into the head in every way. So the purpose of me as an evangelist, I thought when I first started getting, Crystal got saved, I was living in the bars and in the clubs getting folks saved. I thought that's where I was supposed to be. And then I started to read this back in 2008 or 7 or something like that. And I started this, oh snap, I'm called to the body. I'm supposed to help the body be able to do by grace what I do by grace. I'm supposed to help you be able to reach your potential and reach in the mission of God. And so if you feel like you want to be able to grow in that and you don't know how to do that fully, all of our content is on our website. It's free. And we upload stuff all the time. You just write down, you can text 37284 and text overflow. And you can get all of the content free. You can take the gospel to your family. Take the gospel to your friends. But I want to encourage you with this. Actually, I want to challenge you with this. It's a question. Is what you are living for worth Jesus dying for? Let's see this here. Thank you. Is what you are living for worth Jesus dying for? This rope is eternity. This rope is eternity, as long as it is. This is how long we're going to be hanging out with God and hanging out with the offering of the Gentiles, the unbelievers. This little red piece, James calls the vapor of life. Is what you are living for in this red strip worth the potential offering? This church loves to worship God. We give money, we give our lives, we give our holiness, and we worship God. But we've not always considered, not just this church, the church in America, we've not always considered the offering of the unbeliever to our dad. Is what you are living for in this little red strip really, 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 really worth all it is? Is it really worth it? Crystal would say no. Carol would say no. I want to encourage you that you can make a difference. You can do this thing. Just average disciple. Not apostle, prophet, evangelist, pastor, teacher. Just average disciple. Deacons, ushers. Acts 6 is full of you. People that preached and brought the gospel in signs and wonders and in word. Martyrs. It's not about the building, but it's about people. And I want to encourage you that you have a place. And God is looking at you and believes in you. You can do this thing.
Lost our